In this video, what we're going to be talking about is how the only moment that we have is this moment right now, what this means for your life, how this can be practical for your life, and how when you begin to connect deeper to this realization that your life will begin to shift in a really, really massive way. So all we have is the moment right now. Have you ever realized that right now is the only moment that truly exists, and that the future is a projection from this now moment? So in this moment right now, you actually project yourself into the future and you have this idea of the future, but it always stays as an idea and it doesn't actually come. Okay, you really gotta connect deep to the moment to truly understand this, not by thinking about it, but by experiencing it and realizing that time only exists when you're projecting yourself into the past and the future. When I say time, I'm saying the concept of something else other than the moment right now, because the moment right now really is the only thing that exists. In your experience, you can actually confirm this and start to see that the moment right now is the only thing that exists, because the future is a projection in your mind that happens right now. Okay, the past of you looking into the past is a projection. It's a thought in your head that happens right now. And so these projections are nothing more than a thought form coming into your head that happens in this moment right now. Okay, and what does this mean? Why is this practical? This is practical because most of us are actually living our lives not in the now. We're living our lives projecting ourselves continually into the past and continually into the future, and we don't even realize that we are doing this. We're unconscious of the fact that we are living our lives in the future and in the past and living our reality through the lens of the past and the future, not truly seeing what is happening right now. Okay, I read the book called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and this book totally shifted my perspective. And when I combine this with me meditating every single day for 3 years, what I found is that the only moment that exists is right now. And that a lot of the times we may be disconnecting ourselves from this beauty of and the aliveness of the moment because we are projecting ourselves into the future without even realizing it. Because here's the thing, is that when you're projecting yourself into the future and without realizing it, and you're doing this unconsciously, what's going to happen is this always includes some kind of anxiety and fear and the worry, because within those projections of looking into the future, you create a lot of stress and anxiety for yourself. Think about where that fear and that anxiety really, really comes from. Where does that truly come from? It comes from the projections of you looking into the future, and you're always thinking about the worst case scenario. And so it doesn't have to be this way. You can actually be thinking about the vision that you want and truly be connected. And as you focus on that vision, you get closer to it in the now moment, right? Focus on that vision and slowly it starts to materialize in the moment as you focus on that. But then most of us are actually focused on the bad things that are going to happen, and then we bring ourselves to the past and what has already happened, and we're still carrying that pain of the past, even though that situation may already be over. You're still projecting yourself, and your emotion doesn't know that, your body doesn't know the difference. Your body starts generating those emotions from what has happened, and it feels like it's still happening right now. And so from your perspective, you may not be able to tell the difference from what is happening right now and from what you're projecting into the past and into the future, because from your perspective right now, it may be all connected as one thing. But the thing is that as you connect more deeply to the moment, you can separate yourself from your thoughts. When I started meditating every single day 3 years ago, what I found is that I can observe my thoughts rather than be attached to them. And so when I would observe my thoughts rather than be attached to them, what I found is that the moment right now is all that really exists. And so I can begin to observe my thoughts, not take them so seriously, and realize that a lot of my problems really are a projection into the future or a projection into the past. And that all these projections happen in the now moment, and that they're just me projecting and they're not always reality. And these projections are usually done unconsciously, where I don't realize I'm doing this to myself. It doesn't really happen to me anymore, but this is what I used to do. When I say me, I used to do this all the time. Now I don't do it anymore. And so what I started to notice is that I would observe those thoughts. I would notice that I would be projecting myself into the future. And I would notice that a lot of the anxiety, fear, and worry that I have comes from me projecting myself into the future in the now moment. And so here's the key. When you begin to become conscious that the now moment is all that really exists, what's going to happen is you're going to start to feel more unconditional love, more feelings of joy, just being here right now in this moment, not living in the past and in the future, because most of us may be living our lives in fear. And we may be unconsciously doing so. And as you begin to go deeper into the moment, you might find that a lot of people are living in fear without even realizing it. And here's the thing though, you don't need to be living in this way. You don't need to be living in fear. You can make a choice to step out of the thinking mind and connect deeper to the now moment, and then live your life from that place. Meditation is a great way to do this. If you learn to meditate and observe your thinking rather than attach to them, check out my video, How to Meditate. I'm going to put it in the description below if you want to check that out. You connect deeper to the moment. Learn how to connect with what is happening right now. Learn to observe the thinking rather than attach to the thoughts. What you're going to find is that you don't need to be living in fear all the time, and that a lot of the times this fear, anxiety, worry may be a pattern in your head that you were unconscious of. And so the key word here is that it is a pattern. It's not who you truly are, and it's an unconscious thought form in your head that is happening in this now moment, which is nothing more than a pattern that you're reliving and taking the past with you into the moment. Your body doesn't know the difference. Eckhart Tolle calls this the pain body, because you're carrying that pain of something that already happened into the moment, creating this sense of self, like this is who I am. I have to carry this pain with me because this is who I am, and all of this that happened, I need to carry with it. I need to carry it with me so that I can live my life. And you believe that you have to carry this pain with you, but really what the key here is that you don't need to carry this pain with you. You can actually become aware of it in the moment and then begin to let it go and not really take it so seriously. Just let it go. But the key here is that the only way to let it go is to actually become conscious of it and realize that it is a projection in the now moment. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. Realize that the moment right now is all that exists. This can be so practical. You can connect deeper into your relationships, into your business, into the work that you're doing, just to be here right now. Start projecting yourself into the past and into the future, and simply live your life from being here right now. So if you like this kind of content, then consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell, because I post a video every single day. If you want to connect deeper into the present moment and truly get rid of all this unconscious thinking, all these projections into the past, into the future, then consider checking out the description below and apply for a free consultation, and we can see if you're really going to enjoy something like that. So have yourself a great day, and see you in the next video.